You might have heard that Elemental is pretty dope in Wilds, that it's capable of dishing out a tremendous amount of damage. This is correct. As of right now, there are a few skills that are bugged, or at least appear to be. But despite that, having high Elemental attack, particularly if you can hit the cap, can do some pretty crazy things, especially with certain weapons like the Charge Blade. So I want to explore that over here today and see what we can do. You're able to hit the elemental cap in a large variety of ways. Over here, what I'm doing is I'm using the Rarity 8 Rathalos Charge Blade. I'm powering it up with some Blaze Gems to get 3 levels of fire attack, giving me 480 base fire elemental attack. I'm also using the Guardian Ebony Odogaron gear, so I have Burst and Burst Boost too, hitting the full 5 levels of Burst so we get a big bonus, and a couple of levels of Coalescence just to get us to cap. In terms of the Guardian Ebony Odogaron pieces, I've got the helmet, the chest piece, the arms, the waist, and for the leggings, I've got the new Udra leggings, which have a level of burst on them as well. I've got all 5 levels of burst from the gear alone, and 2 levels of coalescence slotted into the gear. You may also hit your elemental cap by using the Gore Magala gear and coalescence with that. How you hit the cap doesn't really matter, the point is to get your elemental attack up. The reason the Charge Blade is such a fantastic example when it comes to elemental damage is that it has so many different sides to it which really benefit from high elemental attack, such as the sword strikes. Once you've charged up your sword with Condensed Element Slash, all of your attacks have file damage added to them, which in this case will be elemental files, it will be fire element. Each of these strikes here are adding a ton of fire elemental damage on top of the actual blows in those file explosions that you can see. That is impacted by the amount of elemental attack you've got. Here with Burst active on all 5 levels and 2 levels of Coalescence active, which I've just set the training area to have active the whole time. Each of these swings over here against the training area dummy with its elemental resistances, its hit zone values, is proccing for 41 damage. Just an extra 41 damage in file bursts every single sword swing, every single sword hit. Kind of crazy. Works really nicely with a shield thrust as well, just absolutely cranking out the pain. But of course, sword mode is only a small piece of the puzzle. When we go into axe mode, specifically when we go into savage axe mode over here, all of the axe spiral tick attacks benefit from elemental damage. So whilst you're doing your rising slash and overhead slash combos, holding down the attack button to get all those additional ticks, that is benefiting from your increase in attack and your increase in elemental attack as well. Super, super nice. And then going into the elemental discharge, actually using up the files as we're going. Each of these files is popping for so much damage. You can see 136s are flying across the screen all over the place. As we do the element discharge combo here, holding down the ticks for additional damage, firing out those files as we go, it is unleashing an ungodly amount of pain. What happens when we actually take this up against a monster that is weak to fire? And we've actually got a pretty good reason to use SAED now, because these files fire out for so much pain. Oh, just lost my burst effect there, which is a bit of a shame. Let's try and activate our full level of burst here. Go backwards with a backslash and then an AED. Hopefully that connects. Yep, keeps our burst going into the SAED, so we've got full burst over here. And but did you see those did you see those files? 273 we were popping for there. 273 per file. My goodness. As I say, the training cart is one thing. Shall we take it up against the monster that's actually weak to fire and see what happens? What is weak to fire? We've got the Lalabrina, we've got Congalala, any of the icy monsters, Doshaguma as well, Hirobami. Oh, we've got a 5-star Lalabrina. Let's give that one a go. Here comes the spin. Hey, yo! Not you out of the sky, Sonny! Oh, couldn't have stayed down for longer? Trying to showcase things here. Okay. Try a SAED. Boop, boop, boop. Of course. Connect, connect, connect. No! Oh, did that keep burst up? Well, it might have done, but it was out of the way again. In hindsight, Lalabrina was not the monster to go for. A monster we know dances around the place, ballet style, like a chump. Come on. No burst. Easy. Still pretty cool though, right? Yeah, this is it. This is the SAED. This is the one. Wasn't quite illustrative of all of the elemental damage, but pretty cool. Let's try again with something else. Come on. Land it. Oh, 177 per file there. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Bearing in mind that these are double charged files, which I'm getting to very easily, very quickly, because I've got 2 levels of the load shell skill available to me. Bit of elemental discharge combo. Ooh, perfect. Okay. Let's just swing the elemental discharge combo around. See what these files do for us. Oh, juicy. Super juicy. Let's go. I can't even tell what we're hitting now. What are we hitting? Send it. Just send it. Just send it, buddy. Don't let it do it. There you go. And again, once more versus some Blangongas over here. I say some because I accidentally fought the one that I wasn't there to fight. This one I've recorded the commentary for in post, so I can just focus on actually capturing the footage. I made a conscious effort to charge up my sword and do plenty of sword strikes over here to try and really show that extra elemental damage you get with a charged up sword. Each swing, each hit, adding that fire element file damage on top. Super tasty. And got some very crunchy hits off as well with the element discharge combo, holding down all of my Savage Axe ticks where possible, and a few big SAEDs connecting as well. Blangonga's particularly weak to fire on its head and torso, so where you're seeing the 266 file bursts there, it's where it's connecting with those. But otherwise 133 damage for those fire element files just popping off all over the place, which is still so strong. And it's so cool to see that SAED is very much so still a thing. I think folks were a bit disheartened, especially if you're an SAED enjoyer, with the new direction for Chargeblade being very elemental discharge combo focused. Looks like there was nothing to be worried about. It is absolutely devastating once again. Chargeblade is in a really good place. Whilst in an actual normal combat situation in a regular hunt, you may not have as many openings as you do up against the training cart, of course. But even so, just the regular usage or regular gameplay of Chargeblade is absolutely demolishing monsters over here. Your Savage Axe ticks, all of the individual file explosions during your elemental discharge combo string, your sword strikes when powered up, the actual condensed element slash sword attack when you charge it up in the first place, all so powerful, so damaging. It is absolutely crazy. And we're not even taking into account circumstances where monsters might be super weak to a particular element, such as Gravios' stomach once it's broken, or monsters like Rathian versus Dragon elemental damage against their head. And of course, it doesn't only apply to the charge blade. What about with your dual blades or with your bow? I've been using primarily sword and shield, and that's been destroying monsters. It's a very fast swinging weapon that has plenty of attacks for multiple hits. All of your regular sword swinging attack combinations, but also specifically your charged chop, your wound pop opener, things like that. I know dual blades are doing some really crazy things when it comes to elemental damage as well. That's it. I just really wanted to show off what elemental can do in wilds, and specifically here with the charge blade example, those files are exploding for so much damage, and the amount of devastation you're unleashing with your Savage Axe ticks and your sword strikes as well. It's so crazy. I just had to show it off. Have you tried elemental charge blade or other weapons? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. If you do enjoy my wilds videos and guides, you can join the 20% of returning viewers and subscribe for more. And I'm also trying to get to 10k followers on TikTok, which unlocks monetization over there. If any of you use it, the link is in the description. It's at LightItUpDan. A follow on there would be super appreciated. But either way, thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the Forbidden Lands.